Wait, let me take a look at this again. Wait a minute. Dude, his voice... his VA went too hard, actually. It went so hard, it's like... He captured the annoying Sid voice way too well.
So, the rumors were true.
So his attack percent team imprint, but his effectiveness self-imprint. I mean, effective self-imprint is really good. It's more value than attack percent, HP percent, defense percent, any of that. Dude, they made his model look so good in that too, actually. So the rumors are true. Yeah. 117 base speed is good. 1000 base attack. That's not good for bombs. Like, 1000 base attack is really bad. But 117 speed is pretty decent.
Skill 2.
When it targets all enemies, activates continuous strike. It seems that the continuous strike always happens on the highest combat readiness target that the enemy has. Let's see. The narrator says that? Oh, on the enemy at the highest combat readiness. Okay, so they do say it right there. Decreases their combat readiness by 20%. Increases combat readiness to the ally with the highest combat readiness, except for the caster, by 20%. So he's normally the highest attack person, so he's probably boosting himself by 20%, which means you need to have him really fast. So if you have, like, you know, a 300 speed unit, he would have to be, what, like 260 or something like that? So you kind of need him, like, really fast, right? And that's not even including if the opponent has someone like Politis or MLU Fiend. Oh, except for the caster. Yeah, sorry. Except for the caster by 20%. So he can't boost himself, so he's boosting... Who is the secondary character that's going to get boosted in this circumstance? Like, who do you want to boost? Oh, yeah, 240 speed is actually how much you need. I guess you could boost someone like Emma Ludwig. You could boost... who's around 240 speed that does that? I think Genoa and stuff like that. If you use someone like Caesarea, then he can boost them.
Highest combat readiness.
They can't counterattack his continuous strike either, I don't believe. Like, I think it... Well, it doesn't say that's uncounterable. I'm pretty sure it's uncounterable, though. It's not like a normal attack.
Continuous strike can only be activated once every 3 turns.
Once every 3 turns. And then plants a bomb and decreases speed. There's no strip involved, so since he always works after an AoE, you're always using him after Ran S3 or Green Litica S2 or... What's another AoE strip like that? There's not really many, honestly. Yeah, Peyra S2, that's the third one. Albedo? I don't think Albedo. Emil Rwana. Yeah, that's true. Emil Rwana actually works with that too. Yeah, Knockwall. Okay, well, we're thinking in regards to Cleave, right? And so I guess Emil Rwana... Green Litica, Ran are some of the biggest ones. Yeah, Politis could actually potentially activate it, which is good. Ida S2. I feel like Ida's not really used as much. I'm more thinking in an RTA way. But yeah, hers actually would be really strong, right? Flitica? Yeah, true, Flitica. He's a light unit, so he doesn't work with the whole Fumir Clave. But okay, I feel it. He's definitely more for cleaving though, right? As a bridge to get your first unit to your second unit. And being able to stun everybody, I mean, that is really valuable. That's really valuable because, like, you can stun characters like Karina, Crimson Armin, like MLU Fiend, all those characters. Okay, you know, maybe he is actually a pretty solid character. And his S1 having a Soulburn and decreased defense is actually really good for, like, one of these matches where, like, you're gonna lap around and get another turn, right? And wait, what if we hold on? So if you're not using Book, is there anything else you would use? Or is Book, like, I mean, we all know Book is king, but is there anything else you would use other than Book? Nah. Knowledge Seed for when you crash and burn and die. No, I don't think you would. What does this do? Increase commerce. No. Yeah, I think that you would probably just put Book on him, or, I mean, wait, this actually does CR push. Effectiveness increases combat readiness to the caster by 20% after 2 ally turns. I mean, that would actually push him up. Yeah, I think that you probably just use book on him and use him in a cleave team. Because him holding the book gives characters like Knockwall, characters like Flitica, characters like Ran, the Ignore Ephra's Soulburn, which I think is pretty solid. You know, the more I look at this character, the more I'm warming up to him. I was thinking like he wasn't that great, but now I think about it now, if you have like a cleave team that's sort of slowed down where you stun the enemy's team, kind of like Death Dealer Ray, and then you get another rotation of turns, that's really good. The issue is that he sucks versus characters like Laya. He does not work versus Laya at all. Yeah, true, Matt Fortress. He also works in a cleave versus cleave setup to go from the first turn to the second turn. So if you have a Ran opener, then you have Sid, you can get first turn to second turn. Like if you're going cleave versus cleave, or like, you know, someone speed contesting. Yeah, I think he actually has some potential. I was thinking he's kind of not so great when I was initially looking at him, but now I actually think he might have real world use. I don't know how good he's gonna be, because like every time you ever fight someone like Laya, like he's just not gonna work unless you can kill the Laya, right? He's decent versus Laya in a way that he'll push her back. That's true, he does push back the Laya. But the thing is, even if you stun everybody else, you have to kill the Laya so that she doesn't get a turn, which is an issue. Like, you have to make sure you're able to kill that Laya with your cleave team. So, like, some teams, you know, that are more AoE-centric might not be able to do that as much. But yeah, he also works versus invisible characters, although they're probably not going to be invisible anymore after you AoE them. Yeah, Flitica Cleave can reset the Laya and then he bombs them. That's true as well. Okay, you know what? I think he might actually be a decent character. I was thinking he seems like not so great, but the more I think about it, the more I think like where you're going to be utilizing him, you're always kind of having a full team strip in some way. And he even has a defense break, which that defense break didn't matter here at all, but in a match where you're actually stunning the enemy and you're going a little bit slower, like maybe you have someone like Spectre Tenebria on the team, or, you know, even Emma Ludwig, like you can go a little bit slower, that defense break's actually going to be huge too, and then you just kill something, right? And he's able to hold his own book, which is awesome too. He can hold the book for Politis too, right? He doesn't even need his S2 to activate either, right? Like if you use someone like Emma Politis, he doesn't even need it to activate. It's useless, right? It doesn't matter. You say he has as many applications as Caesarea and as many weaknesses, but I don't know if that's true, because the issue with Caesarea is she uses her S2, and then the enemy's non-attack skill punishers can activate right there. But for him, he S3s, they can activate their stuff, but then it detonates right after. So it's true, he's not good versus Politis, really, even though she'll get stunned after. He's definitely terrible versus Selene. If you have a ton of effectiveness, then someone like Summer Luluka doesn't really care, though. He's good versus Genoa. He's good when you're speed contesting. He's good versus Karina, as long as you're able to strip her buff, which you probably can in these kinds of teams. He's good versus Crimson Armin. Depending on how you're drafting, he could be good versus Laya. I think he has some potential, but I'm really not sure how good he's going to be. He has potential, but he might just end up not being good. Right? That's the thing about a character like this. He has the theoretical uses in certain circumstances, but he seems a bit niche. Yeah, now that I'm looking at him more, he might be pretty solid, but he might be only for really rare scenarios, because, like, I feel like Death Dealer Ray just does his job better a lot of the time. But this guy's able to CR push your team, which is something that Death Dealer Ray can't do until he gets his actual turn. Yeah, we're going to have to actually test an RTA, but we can't test it until the season ends. So we would just have to try an Arena, but Arena isn't really good testing. I mean, Shaltir is also coming out, and we can't use her in RTA either. So I don't think he really seems like a Guild War character all that much. I mean, you could theoretically, like, you do an AoE and then he procs, but you could maybe be okay in Guild War. And maybe he's actually alright in Arena. Yeah, because everyone and their dog recently has been spamming MO Politis in Arena. So if you ran S3 and then you have Cid, that actually then hits the Emo Politis, pushes her back, pushes your ally forward. So maybe he's a direct answer. Like, they designed this character to try and fight against characters like Emo Politis potentially, so that you go from that opener, someone like Ran, into directly stopping the Emo Politis from getting a turn. So I guess that's kind of nice. Ambitious Taiwan doesn't work on him because his S3 is not an attack skill, it's a non-attack ability. Yeah, he's obviously a cleave character, which I don't think is going to make anyone happy. Did anyone actually want another cleave character right now in this current meta? I wanted an anti-Genoa character, and he's technically anti-Genoa. That's actually kind of a big deal. I might actually have a bit of usage for this character because I cleave a bunch, and I don't like Genoa. And if I have a character that stops Genoa and stops Emo Politis, that's actually kind of huge for me. So, you know, maybe he has some usage. I mean, these are just my initial impressions before he comes out, but the more I'm looking at the character, the more I'm thinking maybe he's actually all right.